In just a couple weeks, I'll be driving the all-new Acura Integra, but we have pricing to discuss today as Acura has given us the full details of how this new compact sports sedan in the premium segment is going to be priced. Let's get into it. Over the Acura Newsroom, 23 Integra is set for early June arrival. If you guys want one, start lining up at your dealerships, put your order in because these things are going to go hot, especially the manual. If you guys didn't know, the manual's only for the most expensive trim. So without further ado, let's just scroll to the bottom. We've already talked about packaging in the past, but not the pricing. So we have the pricing here, and really all you have to look at is this far right column because those are the actual prices. You're not going to see these prices at the dealership because included in every price is destination. So the only way you can get this 6-speed manual is with the Integra A-Spec with the technology package. Now you can also get that sort of tier of vehicle with the CVT if you want, and it will cost you the exact same amount of money. A-Spec is at roughly $34K and the base model is at $32K. So what better way to run down the pricing of the new Integra than compare it against its greatest competitors potentially. I threw up here Civic Si, obviously that's what it's based off of. The Mazda 3 hatchback I think is the #1 competitor in my opinion in terms of price, features, etc. And then we also have the Lexus IS, not the 350 F Sport, not the 300 plus horsepower version, but the base models that are still very competitive around the upper Integra's pricing. We also have some Audi A4s in here, or should I say, I think I should put A3. I believe these are A3s. Okay, so that's updated. So the vehicle's all in the top line. Not only do we have Acuras compared to Hondas, but we also have Acuras compared to Mazdas. I think the Mazda 3 hatchback turbo is a great competitor to this Acura Integra. Now, you might be saying, Kirk, there is no performance comparison because the Mazda 3 hatchback on 93 octane has 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque. That is true, but it is more than likely going to be heavier. The engine's heavier. It's a much larger engine, 2.5 liter compared to 1.5 liter. But after spending so much time with the new Honda Civic Si, I know that the new Acura Integra is not only going to handle incredibly well and have a great feedback with the steering wheel and the chassis, but it's also going to have an incredible ride quality experience. It'll be quieter more than likely the Mazda 3 Turbo and the Honda Civic Si by a long shot. We don't know how much it's going to weigh, and I'm just going to estimate that the 0 to 60 will be around 7 seconds. There's no way it's faster than the Honda Civic Si. The Honda Civic Si is definitely going to weigh at least 100-200 pounds less than the new Integras with all their sound deadening and higher quality materials. Now, another thing in Mazda's wheelhouse is going to be standard all-wheel drive, and that is something that I wish Acura would have given to the new Integra. Super handling all-wheel drive. It's a big part of your DNA as a brand. Your biggest nameplate in terms of history and stuff is not going to have your iconic patented or trademarked system. You know, it hurts me a little bit deep inside to know that the new Integra just does not have an all-wheel drive option. Now, you might be saying, Kirk, well, just increase weight. That is true, but give us the option. At least give us the option, and maybe in the future Honda will find some way to bring all-wheel drive to the Integra. Look, if we look at the new Honda HR-V, which is getting the Civic's 2 liter, by the way, just side news, this is going to have all-wheel drive and it's based off the Civic. So if the HR-V can have all-wheel drive, why can't the new Integra? We also know that the Civic Si and therefore the Integras have a independent rear suspension, multi-link, and then the Mazda hatchback. This is one of the biggest downfalls of the vehicle is the torsion beam. And yes, it's one of the better torsion beams out there, but there's still no denying that it's a torsion beam. And it restricts that vehicle's max capability in terms of handling and ride quality, no doubt. Now, looking at the traditional luxury-based competition here, they are going to be more pricey. We look at the base Audi A3 starting roughly the same price as the maxed out Integra. In terms of features, there's going to be no comparison. We know that the Germans really like to nickel and dime you for little packages, add-ons. It doesn't even have blind spot monitor standard. Of course, that is standard on the Civic Si, coming around $8,000 less than the Audi A3. Lexus IS, especially the IS 300 all-wheel drive, is the best performing vehicle on this list here. Rear wheel drive bias, but it is all wheel drive, $41K. So it is a lot. It's the most expensive all wheel drive system on this list, but in terms of 0 to 60s, it's probably, I don't know what the A3 Quattro is. It's probably around 6 or upper 5s. If you don't need all wheel drive, you go for the turbo 4-cylinder Lexus IS 300 as well. We all know Lexus has really good base safety systems, and I can't say the same, and I just don't know, honestly, since I don't really cover the Audis on my channel. So I just know that Audi and the other German luxury brands really like to charge you for adding safety features, technology, etc. that is typically standard on lesser equipped Asian models. But what about the Type S that's coming for the Integra? Well, it is coming. We just don't know when exactly. It's going to be a dialed back Honda Civic Type R, which is amazing. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it, to be honest. That's just going to be a home run. But unfortunately, we can't get that 2-liter turbo or the detuned one that is in the Honda Accord 2.0. If they're able to get this 252 horsepower Accord engine with 273 pound-feet of torque, if that was available for around $37K, around the price of the top of the line A-Spec technology package, Acura would have a complete home run on their hands. We know that the Integra Type S is probably going to cost like 42 to 45K if the Civic Type R starts around 38K, for example. So it would have been nice to have a slice of that engine power here in the Integra. And they could have offered something very unique to have that 6-speed manual with that Accord engine, which we don't see on any other Honda product. Only the Civic Type R gets the manual transmission, and the upcoming Integra Type S with the manual transmission, but that's to the full-blown like 302 horsepower or so Civic Type R setup. So if we had just that detuned version with a 6-speed manual, make this vehicle completely unique. I don't even need super handling all-wheel drive at that point, guys. It would have the performance chops to really match up with that legendary Integra name. We know that the handling is there. There's no doubt that the handling, the road feel is going to be there on the new Integra, but it is not exceeding our expectations or even meeting a lot of our expectations when it comes to raw power output. So anyways, I can dream about ideal vehicles all day long. The reality is we have a 200 horsepower Integra. That's all we have right now. The only way you can get manual transmission is on the most expensive grade. That is still hard for me to accept. And it's also slightly hard for me to accept that there's no option of super handling all-wheel drive in Acura staple. Anyways, guys, which of these models would you pick? There's a lot of competition out there. None of them are bad options by any means. So where would your money go if you had 35K, let's say 35K to spend on a premium / luxury compact sedan / compact hatchback? Where's it going? I'll see you guys down below. So much to talk about. My mind is hurting a little bit from creating this spreadsheet. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, I would appreciate that, because you don't want to miss my hands-on driving impressions, not only of the CVT, but of course the 6-speed manual and the A-Spec technology package. But signing out, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Thank you to my members as